Good to go? Good to go? All right, so again, my name is Armani White, and I'm the Executive Director at Reclaim Roxbury, one of the organizations that is hosting tonight's candidate forum. And I'm happy to see a full crowd. We got a whole bunch of people RSVP. It's a dark and stormy night, so I made it out. Give yourselves a round of applause. First step is showing up. So tonight's going to be good. We're going to be having 2 forums back to back. If folks don't know that, that's where you're at here today. We're going to be doing first the District 7 and then at large. I want to start off by thanking my fellow hosts. So as I mentioned, Reclaim Roxbury, I'm the Executive Director, but we're one of a bunch of organizations that helped put this together. So I want to shout out to Right to the City Vote Action, Boston Ward 4 Democratic Committee, New England Community Project, MassVOTE, yeah, you can shout yourself out there, Fenway CDC, Madison Park CDC, Mass Alliance of HUD Tenants, the NAACP Boston branch, Chinese Progressive Association, True Alliance Center, Massachusetts Affordable, MAHA, I'm not going to mess that one up, and RoxVote. So, again, round of applause for all the organizations that are taking time to And in terms of the format, many of you might be wondering how is this going to go down? Okay? So the way that it will work, and one of the main things that's important is that when someone's on the mic, we want to have this rule called one mic to try to limit the amount of extra conversation that happens. So for the format of this, we're going to be doing 60-second intros for each candidate. And part of today, we need the crowd to help us with the time management. So we're actually going to hold up a sign. This man right here in the suit, he's going to hold up a sign saying time's up. When y'all see that, I need you all to clap, okay? Like that. Because we are on a tight schedule here. There's a lot of candidates that are running, right? And it's a good thing we need democracy, but we got to get through all the questions. Let's practice that again. So let's say I started, it's been 60 seconds, and this goes up. Candidates, y'all heard that? Everyone feels good about it? We're clapping because we want you to wrap it up. And because we appreciate you being here. So the next part is going to be 60 seconds for an intro, 60 seconds for questions, 60 seconds for outro, and then 15 seconds if you're mentioned by name. This isn't to encourage people to be calling people out, but just to let you know if someone does mention you by your name, you'll have 15 seconds to respond, and no longer. And then again, once the timer has been reached, I'm gonna point to this man, he's gonna hold it up, we're gonna clap. And yeah, that's basically how we're gonna do it. We do not want applause unless we're cutting a candidate off, okay? Everyone wants to get out of here at a decent time, so we gotta make sure to stick to this. And I wanna thank more than anyone, our moderators for tonight, Saraya, Wintersmith, and Yawu who are here in the front. There are more journalists in our community who are working very hard to get the word out there about important issues. We expect tonight to help us host this forum to make sure that we keep it nice and high quality. So thank you for that. And so we're going to have the candidates come up now, just 7 candidates. Make your way. And you can sit where you like. And then we're gonna get started as soon as you all get up here. Okay, one last housekeeping, or a couple last housekeeping things. Please take out your phones and put them on silent. We do not want, phone interruptions. If it happens, it's not the end of the world. We'll just all look at you, keep it off. And then the bathrooms are in the back to the left. You just get up and go whenever you need to use it. All right, so we have to bring some chairs up. We reached out to all the candidates and asked them to confirm to be here. And a lot of them did, some of them didn't. That's okay. We're going to get you a chair, we're going to get you a chair, and we're going to have a chair. Cool. But give us a second, we're going to settle in and we're going to get home. And maybe we'll do a round of applause for all the candidates that That District 7 got a lot of. It's the only path we're going to get for them to get it out now. Unless they cut them off the index. Take one right here. So you cozy, District 7 is a big family, so that's going to be good. And all these people are going to work hard to make sure that even if they don't get elected, that they advocate for the issues they're talking about. Also, we got to get friendly right now. Right? So let's do it. I'm going to pass it off to the moderators. And they will take us away. On to you all.
Hey, good evening. Can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Talk to me. Can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you, Armani, for that warm introduction. We are just going to go from my left to right and introduce yourself. You have 60 seconds for opening statements.
Excuse me. Thank you. Peace and blessings, family. My name is Wawa. I am born and raised in Lenox, grew up in Roxbury my whole life. I'm a proud father of 3. I'm also formerly incarcerated and a proud descendant of American freedom. I think that our community has been ill-represented for a long time. We had a great representation in Tanya Anderson, so I got to give shout-outs to her. But I want to continue a lot of the things that were positive that she did do and move forward from there. Thank you.
My name is Hurtado, and I'm running to represent District 7 because, like many of you, I think it's time that we deal with the issues that keep happening in our communities. We need to get ready for new and intensifying threats. I have the experience, approach, and values to be effective in this role. And for me, being effective means being of service to you and to the residents of District 7, not to those who want to cash in and cash out and try to push us out. So I am independent and I am unapologetic. I am a coalition builder. I've been fighting for equity and justice for 30 years.
Okay, pause. Y'all gotta wait to clap until you see the time's up sign. Angela will flash 30 seconds. Can you show them 30 seconds? He will flash 15 seconds. Can you show them 15 seconds? And we're cutting people off when we see time's up. All right, let's continue. 60 seconds.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank the organizers for putting together this wonderful and important conversation. I want to thank the community members for being here. My name is Abdikarim. I'm a longtime resident of District 7. 30 years ago, if you would have told me I would be on this stage, I would not believe you. So I want to pay homage to all the brown and black electeds that allowed me to be here. I'm a father, a husband, and as I just mentioned, a longtime resident of District 7. I worked as a nonprofit executive and a software engineer. I gained the skills to organize, the managerial skills, and also technical skills that's going to allow me to be an effective city council member. I have been doing the work for the past 10 years, producing results for District 7 in terms of affordable housing, small business support, and also after-school programming. Thank you for having me this evening.
So, thank you all for being here. Thank you for the organizers. My name is Coach Saraya. I am a long-time Boston public school educator and a proud husband and father of 5. I came to Roxbury in 1995 as a refugee from Somalia. Good to speak. Can you guys hear me? Yes. I came to Roxbury in 1995 as a refugee from Somalia. Could not speak a word of English. This community gave me everything from Boston public school education to become the fastest 1,000-meter runner in the state of Massachusetts in history. I earned a full scholarship to University of Arkansas, and I used to run for Nike to represent the United States of America. After my career, I came back. I returned to Boston Public Schools. I served as an assistant unit leader at Charleston High School, classroom teacher, and also supervisor of attendance in our district.
Thank you. It's time.
Decisions are made by those who show up. And in this moment, we all need to show up. But I want to show up with you, and I want to show up with you to build this community up. We will show up to stabilize housing. We will show up to provide the quality education that our students need. We will show up to pioneer the constituency service model that we all deserve. I'm dedicated to this because I was born and raised in this community. I was educated by the devoted educators within Boston Public Schools. And I was raised and mentored by the elders of our community. I'm dedicated to this cause. And I am happy and proud of my career in public service. But it's time for the next step in my journey. My name is Mavrick Afonso. I want to be your partner, and I want to be your next District 7 City Councilor.
My name is Miniard Culpepper.
My name is Miniard Culpepper, and thank you for allowing us to talk tonight. A little bit about me. I'm a lawyer who has practiced in Boston, Washington, a minister, served Pleasant Baptist Church, a church that my grandfather built. I grew up on Secret Street where I now live. I decided to run for the city council seat because after a lifetime of working in and behalf of the community, as a leader, pastor, attorney, regional counsel for HUD, I have the on-the-ground experience and knowledge and the commitment to be an effective councilman for District 7. When it comes to delivering on the issues that matter most to our community, from success to affordable housing, to increase economic opportunities, create equitable safety system, to ensure that every child in the community can receive a world-class education, I am the candidate with the knowledge and the on-the-ground
Thank you. That's time.
to deliver results.
Hola, mi nombre es Owens, estudio para estudiar y la ciudad para el distrito del 7. I'm Roy Owens, and I'm running for City Council for District 7, and I'm running to be the very best City Council we have since Bruce Bowling. As you know, since Bruce Bowling, we haven't had a candidate that hasn't been in trouble with the law. And personally, really cares about our community. Roxbury Community College is one of the things that I've done. If I don't do anything else, Roxbury Community College, the way it started, I collected signatures to get it on the ballot. I attended as a student. We didn't have accreditation until we see Roxbury Community College. For those who signed the petition today, we have Roxbury Community College.
Hello, my name is Natalie, Juba, Sutherland, and I'm a resident of Boston for 25 years and a homeowner of Roxbury for 15 years. I'm an immigrant to Trinidad and Tobago. I migrated to America as a teenager with a pull-on suitcase, $120, and dreams to live the American dream. I've struggled with homelessness, not having enough money to buy food or live. I graduated from Buck Hill Community College and UMass Boston with a concentration in accounting. Along my journey, the city of Boston has embraced and assisted me in anything that I can to be a productive citizen in society. Today, I'm proud to be a citizen of America, and Boston represents the final words of the Pledge of Allegiance, with liberty and justice for all. This phrase signifies a commitment to the values of freedom, equality, and freedom to every individual. As a city council, I will fight to bring well-paying jobs to the residents of District 7, create a simple path to home ownership, and ensure each student have the resources they need to succeed. Thank you.
First, I want to give honor to all the candidates that made it here tonight. Thank you for your dedication. My name is Jerome King. I'm running for City Council, District 7. I'm not going to get long with it. I only got 60 seconds, so I'm going to keep it brief. I'm human service based. been in the community for over 40 years, and I love people. People is my thing. I am a person who understands and gets it. So at the end of the day, I want to be your city council to represent you in the right way. Thank you.
Next, we're going to do open-ended questions. Each of you will get 60 seconds. We're going to go from my left to right again. And first question for you, and for all of you, but starting with Mr. Bell. What's the main way you will advocate to make District 7 more affordable?
Thank you for the question.
Let's give him another mic.
Oh no, it's all good. I reset you.
Thank you for the question. I think the main way to make Roxbury and Boston more affordable is it starts with ownership. Honestly, I think it's cheaper to buy than it is to rent. There aren't many incentives right now for landlords to reduce the rent. I would support any policy that came from the mayor that would limit how much landlords could make. I think that would be the best way that I could kind of support something like that, is to say that I would sign yes to rental control, but until something like that happens, I think realistically we should be focusing on ownership.
So I think the city should be doing everything in its power to build more housing. We need to establish more funding sources to get funding for our public housing and also for land trusts. So I'm going to support a multi-model approach. We need to be looking at all the tools we have. I don't think we have enough tools actually to protect our families to stay in Roxbury. Anti-displacement policies are not working to protect the families who are in private homes. We're doing enough to keep families in subsidized housing, but not families who are in private houses. And I want to make sure we are doing that. So, because we are talking today, we are implementing so many different strategies. I see many families leaving the district, and that is unacceptable. And we need to do what all the towns are doing when they are doing affordable housing. They are protecting our residents.
Go ahead.
So, in order to make Boston more affordable, the biggest issue when it comes to housing in the city of Boston is a multifaceted issue. Number one, you have a very restrictive zoning that does not allow us to build more denser affordable housing. Secondly, the supply is not there, and there's a high cost of living in the city of Boston. So we have to work together as a city. We have to work with whoever's mayor to make sure that we're building more affordable housing, and also that we're building more income-based housing. I come from a technology background, and one of the biggest things that I emphasize is equipping people with the right skills for higher wages. Yes, we need to fight for more affordable housing, but at the same time, let's make sure that in the 30 years I lived here, what has increased? The cost of living. What has not increased is people's income.
Yes, so this is actually one of my top issues. I grew up in
Let's get together, Mike.
I grew up in one of the Boston public housing in Roxbury, and I'm sick and tired of actually seeing our community moving out and pushed out. So we gotta educate our community first. We gotta educate our community about CDCs and land trusts. There is communities like in Madison, neighborhood deli trusts that we have, and those CDCs that are being infected. Also, we need to figure out these developers that are coming into our neighborhoods. What are they really? Who are they building for? Who is keeping accountable of them? So we want to make sure also building houses and then keeping them holding them accountability. So that they, real people, like the community that built this community are staying, not a community that just coming in and taking over. So community that work hard, that built this community are getting pushed out, and you folks are coming in. So that is, I believe, that educate our community. Land trust is the way to go.
Technical issue? We good? I have a unique experience because I work at the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities under Secretary Augustus. And this is what we've been doing across the Commonwealth. We've been finding different ways to stimulate housing within communities. We haven't kept up with housing production for over 2 decades, probably even longer in this district. I think things that we can do immediately is to look at some of the surplus land that we have in the community and develop it. We need to be able to create the housing that's affordable, and we could utilize different products like LIHTC, low-income tax credits, to help stimulate and pay for this, or even help developers to create this type of housing within our community. But also, there's ADUs as well too, accessory dwelling units. This is going to help to create more units throughout the Commonwealth, and specifically within the district. It could be a basement apartment unit that we turn into an apartment for an elder, somebody that's in your family's. But there's also
Number one, I believe that we need tenant ownership. Academy Homes, the Tenant Association owns Academy Homes. Campbell Gardens, the Tenant Association owns it because of the work I did at HUD under the Demonstration Disposition Program. We need a Section 8 home ownership program. Section 8 holders can walk to the bank, find a house, they can buy a home with the Section 8. New Hampshire has one of the biggest Section 8 home ownership programs. We can do the same right here in District 7. I think we need a moratorium on all of the properties that come into the city's inventory that for District 7, we need to put a moratorium so that the residents of District 7 can apply for that lottery, hold all of those houses in that District 7, put a moratorium so District 7 residents can apply for them. Then I think we need REITs for affordable housing. There are REITs for $1 million housing, REITs are real estate investment trusts. We need them for affordable housing to sustain affordable housing. I've got a plan, like Miniard Culpepper City Councilor.
Hi, again, I'm going once. We have 10 or more issues we have to deal with in this society. And that is, we have the fight for freedom of religion, the ban on Christian religion ban. We have traditional family values that are being banned. We have the children's rights, protection rights being taken away. And we have senior citizen issues that are being ignored. And we have political correctness that's destroying our young men. We have low-income housing, which is high-rise grass. Colleges and universities are taking them over. We have gentrification. We have to address diversity in the churches, dealing with the bathroom issues. We have to address quality education and congested pricing. Congested pricing has to do with, I don't know if you noticed in New York, where now the residents in the last month paid like $50 million.
Thank you. The first thing we have to do is educate ourselves about financial literacy. What financial literacy does, it teaches us how to manage our money. Because we can actually say, yes, we can own our homes, but can we keep our homes? This is the core value of actually keeping and owning and keeping the cost down. Because that is why gentrification happens. If you own, you can never be pushed out. Remember that. If you own, you can never be pushed out. And once you are financially literate, you will know how to balance your budget, how to pay your taxes, and put a cap on all these big developments that's actually coming into your district. Because when your taxes go up, guess what? You cannot afford to save, and they push you out. Thank you.
What is really affordable I think we need to really sit down and come up with some type of plan. We keep talking about structure, formality, all this other stuff. People are really making the money to survive and live. Like if you're making $15 an hour, and we're talking about affordable housing, but the affordable cap is at $81,000 for a single person and $132,000 for a couple. How do you live? What's so affordable about that? Listen, we gotta really, we gotta put our hearts back in our chests. And we really gotta stop looking at where people really are, because people are hurting out there. And I don't think nobody really is feeling people's pain, but we got a real serious problem. And if we don't do something, we're gonna get free and trouble.
Candidates, thank you so much for this round. I'm going to start on my right. So this goes to you first, Mr. King. What is the main thing you'll do to support communities that have been targeted by ICE? In 60 seconds.
Me personally, I'm a fighter. So, you know, I want to see why. Why is ICE really around? Like, do we really know who ICE is? All I see is a bunch of people running around with shiesties on, you know, they don't show their face. And I mean, we talking about immigrants, right? I think we all are immigrants. We all come from somewhere. So at the end of the day, I think we really need to really band together and start loving each other as a community, as a neighborhood. Because at the end of the day, ICE, what is ICE?
Thank you, Ms. Juba Sutherland.
The first thing we need to do is remember that they are humans, just like you and me. We were all one day we were in that vulnerable position, and we have to remember that. Number two, we need to build bridges between law enforcement and the immigrant community. And when I say that, what I mean is a lot of immigrants are out there who are actually they are being taken advantage of. They have the fear of actually calling anyone for help because they know their immigrant status, and that's a problem. Once we build those bridges, we can actually get help. And we also have to treat, as I said, we have to treat them with dignity and respect.
Thank you, Mr. Owens.
Oh, yes. I guess one of the main issues I'm trying to deal with is congestion pricing. I think that's some of the issues right now. In the last, I guess, since Bruce voted, most of the people who have really been impacted in our community have been people who are just new to this community. And a lot of problems they're having is understanding how to relate to the community. And I think we have to work with that. We can't do that. We have, in terms of understanding how the community works and working together, we need to work together. Like 2 years ago, the first person who was an immigrant person came to America, and they was on the city council, and they was driving without a driving license, driving without insurance, and had the children in the car ran through somebody's house. And they have a lot of problems like that. I think we have to work on helping them in
Culpepper, I want to remind you, the question is, what's the main thing you'll do to support communities that have been targeted by ICE?
Thank you for that question. As a civil rights attorney who has represented many over the years in the community for different issues, I think the key and the significant piece of what happens with ICE is the representation that they have once they're arrested. I believe as an attorney and as one who fought for civil rights that the battle once they're arrested is in the courts. And I think as attorneys line up to fight and strategize and raise issues in the court that have to do with their constitutional rights, I think once we do that, I think it's not a matter of ICE. I think it's a matter of them having someone to stand up and protect their constitutional rights. And I'm ready to do that as an attorney that has fought for civil rights all of my legal career, ready to stand up and go toe-to-toe fight. So the other thing about ICE is they talk about going into the churches, and they haven't gone into the churches. But I can say one thing about Pleasant Hill. If ICE comes to Pleasant Hill, we got the fire at Pleasant Hill to go on.
Thank you. Mr. Afonso.
Thank you for that question. First and foremost, we would need to uphold the law. This is a sanctuary state. So let's provide these people the counsel that they need if ICE comes to try to take them away. So I think it's very important that we advocate for more funding around like legal services that can help defend these folks if they're in the court systems, because we understand they're getting treated very unjustly and they don't have the proper services in terms of supporting them from the legal perspective. So let's start by enforcing our laws and then protecting them when they're in the court system.
Thank you. Mr. Ahmed.
Thank you so much. How we can protect our community is clear. Coming together, share our stories. I was immigrant. A lot of my friends and community members are immigrants and being targeted by ICE. I came here, got an opportunity to run for the United States of America. I came here and educated myself and become an educator in a classroom. So the way we can protect one another is come together. It doesn't matter whether what church or mosque or place that you go to, and share our stories. And also make sure you get to know your neighbor. Who is your neighbor? What's your neighbor do? What's your neighbor needs? So you notice a lot of times we don't talk to one another. So come to the mosque, go to the church, let's communicate, and that's how we can be strong. If we divided, we're weak. Together we're strong.
Thank you. Mr. Abdikarim.
So I think with all due respect on this stage, I'm the only candidate that stood with our mayor, Attorney General, Councilman Presley, to protect our immigrant rights throughout the city of Boston. The way we can protect immigrants is that, first of all, we need to educate them about their rights. What are their rights under the Constitution? Because no one deserves to be snatched up on the street because they practice their First Amendment rights. And I'm proud to say that I have personally helped over 30 newcomers to this country recently, and some of them are actually on the stage, navigate, this nightmare that's going on in this country. As a community, we need to advocate for our immigrant community. We need to educate them. And we need to stand together. Thank you.
Thank you. This is very personal for me. I'm an immigrant. I came to Mexico, to the United States. I came to study. So I haven't had the experience of what an undocumented immigrant experience. But in my personal family, I have relatives who are in this situation. They have been in the United States for over 30 years, working very hard, paying taxes, being good citizens. And now every day we're just praying that they are not the ones that are going to take back, because all of their lives are here in the United States, not anymore. Some of their children were born here, they don't know anything about the country where they came from, their parents. So in reality, all of these questions is difficult for us as a city, as a city councilor, the attorney general, everybody. We don't know what to do, because this is new, we haven't experienced this before. But there are some specific steps that we can take. We can definitely invest more in educating and protecting
Mr. Bell.
Thank you. I think I come from a very realistic place of being. There's already a policy in place right now that I wouldn't stand in the way of. I think, the ICE concerns and coming for undocumented immigrants is dealt with on a federal level. As a city councilor, I wouldn't ask if they're undocumented when they're asking for city services. If they call the office, well, we're gonna support anybody that is in District 7. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Give them all a round of applause. In this case, we have open round section. Next, we're going to do a round of rapid fire questions. You guys ready? Yeah? Okay, good. The way that this will work is that you all each have a white paddle. Rise it up, raise it up. And if you don't have a white paddle, I'm going to give you one, because I have it on my hand. All right, if you don't have one still, we're going to work around it. We're going to figure something out. But the goal is that the moderators are gonna ask you all questions, and you're gonna write yes or no. No, yes, and no. No, maybe. Yes or no. And then the moderator is gonna read the responses back. So they're gonna read the question to you, give you a second to write it down, and then they're going to be coming back. So yeah, you can write yes and no on either side so that you can have that prepared. And we're gonna get Mr. King one in a second. Got you. Any questions? Everyone's marked? Very good. All right. I'm gonna grab that one. It's community, you know? No, it's 30 minutes.
All right, you ready?
All right, so we're going to start with Mr. Bell and go to Mr. King. Actually, you're all going to answer at the same time with the card. So, first question is: do you support rent control? And would you advocate for the Homes for All Massachusetts rent control bill that would limit rent increases to the rate of inflation with a cap at 5% and ban no-fault evictions? Yes or no? You got yes from Mr. Bell, from Mr. Hurtado, from Mr. Abdikarim, Mr. Ahmed, Mr. Afonso. Yes from everybody.
The real estate industry groups are pushing to weaken Boston's newly updated inclusionary zoning policy, which currently requires 20% of units in market rate developments to be income restricted. Do you support the current policy? I will read it again. Real estate industry groups are pushing to weaken Boston's newly updated inclusionary zoning policy, which currently requires 20% of units in market rate developments to be income restricted. Do you support the current policy? It looks unanimous. It's yeses from every candidate.
Next question. Do you support leasing White Stadium to a professional soccer team? Yes or no? So we have 4 yeses from Mr. Abdikarim, Mr. Ahmed, Mr. Afonso, and Mr. Culpepper.
The pilot cycle had $2 million for participatory budgeting. Residents were not happy with this amount and have been consistent in asking for 1% of the budget to be determined via participatory budgeting. Will you commit to sponsoring City Council amendments to increase participatory budgeting funds? Yes, 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 yes. Unanimous.
Do you support a fully elected school committee? Yes, everybody but someone with covered.
Do you support abolishing the DPD gang database? Do you support abolishing the DPD gang database?
The Boston Police Department's gang database.
I see yeses, except from Ms. Natalie Juba Sutherland. Royal, what are you doing?
You have to choose one.
You don't have an answer? Roy Owens is abstaining. All right, that concludes our red light, green light round. I'm going to turn it back over to Yawu, and he will lead us in closing statements.
So we'll do closing statements, and we'll start. This time we'll go to Mr. Bell to Mr. King. So starting, each of you has 60 seconds. Same rules apply.
In closing, basically what I'm going to say is I have the lived experience from being impacted by a lot of the pitfalls that this community has to offer young black men. I grew up having to work my way through those circumstances to come to a place where I am now. Because of those lived experiences, I understand how city governance impacts our lives on a day-to-day basis. I've been working with community groups to make changes without being a city councilor. I've supported the city councilors that have been in office. I've challenged them as well, and I will continue to just keep doing what I've been doing, whether I'm elected or not.
With this, I grew up in Mexico in a family that struggled with poverty and substance abuse, so I know what hardship is, and I know never to write people off. In Boston, I found a community organization, and I have worked for multiple years in education reform. I served in multiple roles in the city of Boston, as a senior advisor to American Jamie, and as a chief of staff at the District 7 office. So I am ready to serve, and I am, raising my children here in Boston. My son goes to the O'Brien, so I'm fully committed to doing affordable housing, market rate, and everything in between. One thing I'm going to prioritize is bringing the advocates and the community leaders together, because what we have is now working in delaying the production of housing, and we need to be at the table working together. Thank you.
I just want to say that I'm a father, a husband, and a son, a brother, the oldest of 10 kids. And I weighted the responsibility of selling newspapers at the age of 13 to help my only working parent. But I'm also a Black African immigrant man who has lived the weight of being poor, underserved, misjudged, and counted out. And I know what it means to fight for belonging, to have to prove yourself twice over, not just because you're Black, but because you weren't born here. Let me be clear, being an immigrant does not make me less qualified. So I say this, we cannot let the tools of oppression, division, doubt, and xenophobia take root amongst us, whether Black, Latino, Asian, or white, or immigrant. We are one community. And the only way we can move District 7 forward is together with love, equity, and shared power to set it. It will be an honor to serve the people of District 7 and bring our collective independent voices to City Hall. Thank you.
Thank you all for having us tonight. 30 years ago, I came here in this community as a refugee from Somalia. My family and I did not have anything. And right after that, I went to Boston Public Schools, where I became a track star. And later on, went to university, got my degree, and recently got my PhD. I lectured at Harvard University in African and African American Studies. I believe that this community can make and give a chance to every child to earn a PhD or to be a professional athlete or to be whatever they want to be. But we gotta believe in our system. We gotta believe in our people. In Boston Public Schools, as a teacher, I saw how inequality education it is. Our families that develop this community is getting kicked out. As your Boston City Council, I will make sure we have an office right here in District 7 in Roxbury so that we can make our community better.
When I was gathering signatures in the community, I came across two elderly women. They were sitting down and I started to share about my candidacy and the issues that I'm focused on. They seemed very impressed about what they heard, and one of them said that they would support. Along came a third woman who sat down on the bench. She had a face mask, thick rimmed glasses, and she was listening very pensively to everything that I said. She interrupted me and said, "We heard that before. Politicians come here all the time and they tell us all these great promises, but I'm gonna hold you accountable and I'm gonna be a thorn in your side." I asked for her name. She said, "My name is Miss Barrett." I told her, "Miss Barrett, I want more for you to just hold me accountable, be a thorn in my side. I want you to be with me today and guiding me, being my partner. Today, tomorrow, election day, every day after that, as your city councilor. And I want to work with everybody in this community to be able to do that. Please look at my website, Vote for Mavrick."
Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. this election offers a clear choice. There's been much discussion about housing, but I built housing, put our friends and neighbors in their homes. When the streets were, with youth violence became a major issue, I walked the street, helped kids out of gangs, put them in full-time jobs. I've always said it takes a bullet, a job to stop a bullet. On the issues, there's not about a difference between those of us sitting on the stage. With my experience and knowledge in getting the job done and delivering for District 7 sets me apart from the other candidates. I have the knowledge and the on-the-ground experience to deliver and get the job done. That's the difference and that's the choice. I get the job done. As a former chief of staff or member of Congress, I will walk into City Hall on day one, ready to deliver for District 7 and get the job done on day one. I'll make it clear that there will not be a bus lane going up Blue Hill Ave in Roxbury, Massachusetts.
I'm Roy, I think I've done more than anyone else on the stage to make Roxbury what it is today. Got the neighborhood initiative. I started in my home at Woodville Neighborhood Association. And now I charted the area from 20th Street to the south end and from Upper's Corner to here. It was blocked when I first came into District 7. And after that, I worked to get Roxbury Community College going, collected signatures. I went out, I was collecting signatures to help us get the building built, get it started. We started Grove Hall, we moved down here to Sutherland, then over South End. We wanted to build a building from the ground up. It's only that, but we also had to deal with, like I said, the neighborhood addition. Also because the high school that's built over here, I was on the board, when we developed that, in order to have, when you drop out as a young person, you will have continued education.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone for coming out today to listen to us. I want to thank the organizers. I want to thank my fellow candidates on the stage. My name is Natalie Juba Sutherland. I'm running for Boston City Council. I am a mother. I am a wife. I am a resident of Roxbury of Boston. I am an immigrant. I am a citizen of America. And I hope to gain your vote today. I hope to gain your vote in the election. One of the things I want to say is when I was out collecting signatures, one of our fellow current city councilors said to me, I will see you out in those streets. So I want to repeat that to you. I will see you on those streets. Thank you.
Once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out. If you call me, I'm going to be there. You will see me too out in these streets. Like I said, I'm human service based, so I understand what the people need. I understand what people go through, because I too go through the same things. So being your city councilor will give me the opportunity to do things as far as human service on a higher scale. I'm a nonprofit. I work with organizations like Salvation Army, Goodwill. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, you call me, I'm there. Thank you.
All right, this concludes our forum for the District 7 City Council seat. Give another round of applause to our candidates. And I ask you all to bear with us while we transition from this forum to set up for at-large council candidates. I'm going to ask everybody to move quickly so that we have time.